You know, they got Salt Bay. They call me Salt Bruh.
Hello everyone, this is Derek with the Tailgating Spot. Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a really great recipe for you to try out at your next tailgating outing. Our chef Andy is going to talk us through what we're going to be preparing for you today. Andy, take it away.
All right, so what we're making today is perfect for this time of year because it's cold outside.
It is.
It's freaking cold.
It's below zero right now.
And this is something that is going to warm you up. Now, a lot of people would call this Frito pie, taco casserole. Well, since we're in North Dakota / Minnesota, we're calling it Taco Hotdish.
That's right.
And actually, from a 1960s Betty Crocker cookbook is where this recipe comes from. My mother pulled it from it, and it's really, really good. They call it Taco Hotdish, so we're gonna call it Taco Hotdish.
It has stood the test of time over
Yes.
all of these years, so
Yes.
we're gonna give it a try today. And to go alongside of that too, Andy's gonna whip up some guacamole, and we'll go through that as well. Okay.
Alrighty, so you're gonna need about 1.5 pounds of ground beef, 1 chopped onion, which I've already chopped here for sake of time. You're gonna need some chopped scallions and some taco seasoning and some minced garlic. Of course, cheese, lots of cheese. We're gonna need 1 pound. This recipe calls for 1 pound of cheese. It's gonna be very cheesy. And last but not least, well, some taco flavored tortilla chips. And over the years, you know, 1960s Betty Crocker, you think of Tex-Mex in the Midwest, you think bland, and that recipe was in fact bland.
Yeah.
So I've kind of done some modifications to it, and there's some, you know, you can do whatever you want to this too. You can make it spicier, you can make it blander, however you want to do it. I mean, since my kid's probably going to be eating this, I'm not going to make it spicy today.
True.
So we're going to kind of stick close to the recipe, but I have made a few changes. So.
All right. Well, let's get started.
Caramelize all this up real good. I love the smell of onions and garlic.
Oh, it's the best.
sautéing. Oh, so good. Hit it with the taco seasoning.
Is there any specific measurements, or you're just kind of eyeballing?
I just eyeball it. And then, you know, it's important to taste it once it's all together. If you feel like it needs more taco seasoning, throw some more in there. All right, we're gonna hit it with some more taco seasoning real quick. 1/3 cup of water. Can of tomato sauce. 1 can of black beans, or you can use refried beans. We're gonna cover and simmer for 15 minutes. All right, our simmering is done. It's time to transfer this to a glass casserole dish. If you don't have a glass casserole dish, a cake pan works fine. Oops. We'll just kind of even that out. Now, what's really cool that you can do with this is you can prep all of this the night before your tailgate, and in the morning, just take it out of the fridge and throw it in the oven, and it'll be good to go. It'll be nice and hot. right, time for the cheese. We're doing 2 different kinds of cheese. We're gonna do like a Mexican blend, and then we'll just do some sharp cheddar, and we're gonna use all of this cheese. So I'm gonna start with the sharp cheddar as a base. Just kind of spread it around a little bit. And then we'll go with the Mexican cheese. It kind of clumps up a little bit. And that is 1 pound of cheese. Hell yeah. Okay, then our green onions we set aside. We'll use them all up. And here comes the fun part. Our taco chips. Just gonna we're gonna crunch these up real good. We're gonna get a layer of these chips on there over the top. Just crunch them up in your hands just like that. Alrighty. Now we go into the oven at 325 for about 20 minutes. We just want to, everything's already cooked. We just want that cheese to melt. So in we go. All right, so while our taco hot dish is in the oven, what better to go with a taco hot dish than some fresh guacamole? So I've got 4 ripe avocados, the riper the better. I've got 1 serrano chili, sliced paper thin. I've got the other end of our scallions or green onions, whatever you want to call them, sliced up nice and thin. And I've got some chopped cilantro and a lime. And also some olive oil. So now this guacamole recipe, we want to bring out the flavor of the avocado. A lot of people, when they make guacamole, they add too many spices to it. And at that point, you're just eating green, mushy salsa. We want to bring out the flavor of the avocado. We want that to be front and center. So I'm gonna start by taking a spoon and just spooning out those avocados into a bowl. All right, so next, we're gonna take our lime. This is a really cool way of juicing a lime if you don't have a citrus reamer. Just take a fork and you just stuff one of the prongs into there, like so, and then just work it. Just work that fork in there. Sorry, I bent your fork. I worked it a little too hard. Just work that fork in there while you squeeze. Squeeze that lime in there, all right? We'll take the other half, we're gonna do the same thing. Oops. Then, olive oil. So an avocado is mostly fat, and olive oil is also fat. These 2 fats really go together well. This is gonna bring out the flavor in our avocado very nicely. So just maybe about 3 tablespoons or so, just kind of eyeball it. Then we're just gonna salt it to taste. If it's not salty enough when we're done, we can add more salt. You know, they got Salt Bay. They call me Salt Bruh. And then you can mash this up just with a fork. A really good trick if you're in a pinch and need to make guacamole, but your avocados are not quite ripe yet, you can peel your avocados like you normally would and put it into a food processor with some frozen peas. And food processor or blender, and mash it up in there. You would not even be able to tell that there's peas in it, but it's just a good shortcut. Okay, now our chopped cilantro, our serrano chilies, scallions getting away. We'll just mix that all up. All right, let's test it out with some of our leftover taco chips. See how it is, see if it needs any salt or anything. That's right on the money. We're good. So there's an easy guacamole recipe for you. It goes well with this or tacos, burritos, or if you just got a hankering for some chips and guac. There you go. All right, time to come out of the oven. Oh yeah. Things all melty and bubbly. And we just gotta let that rest for a little while because we don't wanna bite into it now, otherwise we're gonna burn our mouths. That wouldn't be fun. All right, time for a taste test. Oh yeah, look at all that gooey cheese. Oh, look at that perfect cheese pull right there. Super cheesy. All about the cheese here. Warms the soul. I'll tell you what, this will stick to your ribs too.
So there you have it, everyone. That's the recipe for a taco hot dish and some fresh made guacamole. As you can see, Chef Andy is still kind of eating away, but we'll put our directions to make everything right here in the description down below, so make sure to check that out. If you like what we're doing here, leave us a comment below, share it with somebody that you think will enjoy this recipe. If you have any suggestions on another recipe for us to try out, that's good. Let us also know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you at the next video. Thank you.